Hello, everybody. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Let's get started. I got to send this link out to one more person here. Sorry. I usually do this before I get started, but sometimes I start and go, "Oh, that's right. I got to send that link out over here too." Okay, so welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Sorry about that. Don't need those. Sorry. We'll get this started eventually. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is March 12th. No, it's March 14th. Wow. Okay. I wish this wasn't live. I'd start again. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, March 14th, 12:28 p.m. here in the Arizona desert, where time doesn't change because our time zone is freedom. All right. BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Just wanted to start the show off this Monday and say this is the serene nature, the beautiful, expansive way a Bitcoin truth seeker looks. This is basically like what our energy looks like. That is a Bitcoin truth seeker. And this is everyone else. This is an orc that trusts science. I trust the science. Okay, so Bitcoin truth seekers, let's look at some news real quick, okay? U.S. threatens consequences for China if military aid given to Russia. This is kind of based on this weird story that Russia had asked China for help. It's not really confirmed. It's one of those anonymous officials. Anyway, so of course, America the administration has to respond to that, which kind of, pissed China off a little bit because they're like, hey, don't talk back to us. Then, of course, China gets a little bit more escalated and China says no one and no force could stop it from taking Taiwan as 13 jets breach Taiwan airspace. If this is an official guy this is a China state affiliated media, which means ultimately it is the Chinese government because, well, they don't screw around, right? There's only the Chinese government media. If Sullivan thinks he can persuade China to participate in sanctions against Russia, he will be disappointed. So anyway, my hope is that the American admin will turn down the rhetoric towards China. Look, I don't like the CCP either. Chinese people are beautiful. CCP, evil. A lot of countries have evil governments. It happens. Please, this is my little prayer. U.S. government, just shut your neck and stop messing with China because you'll be the ones who provoke them into, going after Taiwan, kind of like you did Putin and Ukraine. So with that said, let's look at Bitcoin and the top 100. It was volatile. We had some news about the EU supposedly going to ban crypto mining, therefore kind of, proof of stake mining, or is it proof of work? I forget which one Bitcoin is. Sorry, I don't think about that very often. But in general, most data centers, most people mining Bitcoin on a big scale are trying to do it as efficiently as possible because that's how they make money. Anyway, there's this lame, worn out argument about, Bitcoin being environmentally damaging. It's kind of, ineffective. It's not green. Greta doesn't like it, tells the UN to stop people from mining it, allegedly. Anyway, with all that said, the EU did not go after it. They said they were going to. Now they've kind of stripped it from the legislation. So that's a good thing. Like no Bitcoin, banning because it's not green enough in the UK, even though actually most large Bitcoin miners, and if you know anything about data centers, you would know that they're going to do it where it's cheapest and also in general, where it's the most green because, efficiency is money in mining Bitcoin. So anyway, with the volatility we had over the weekend, especially yesterday and early this morning, because of that news and just because, definitely it made Bitcoin somewhat volatile, which always throws the alt market off a bit. So we're kind of red in the alt market. But Thorchain Ruin is the coolest, ticker symbol ever, is doing well today, up 11.9% right now. So top 100, not looking good, but Ruin is making it happen. All right, as you can see, this is just some serious volatility we had. All was kind of going well, and then we kind of dumped this. This wiped out a lot of longs, as you can see here on the bottom. This was right around 13. 13th of March. That was yesterday around 22, something like 11, around like 10, just before 11 o'clock p.m., at least my time here or so. So anyway, this happened late last night or so, depending on where you are. But this is probably FUD from that news about the EU. I'm sorry, the UK wanting to ban Bitcoin mining, therefore kind of Bitcoin in the UK, which was probably never going to happen. But for whatever reason, they felt like doing that, and they, talking about it, and they did. And now they're not going to do it, so whatever. But definitely dumped the market a bit, created a lot of volatility going into Monday. Bitcoin, basically, as you can see, it rebounded after that dump, and now we're kind of back to normal. We're coming in at like 38,683 this very moment, but that volatility coming into Monday will make Monday, as you can see, a bit of a red day in the market. But my guess is it will probably progress into green, barring any FUD, bad news, shit blowing up, whatever. It will probably progress back into the green. I was watching this morning. Now the order books, big orders coming in. Once that kind of got resolved, there were just $1 million orders just flying in, just boom, 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 one after the other. So definitely the market. I don't think this is a sentiment the market wants to continue, wants to hold into this week, this dump we had on the UK FUD. So I think we're going to probably recover fairly quickly today. We're doing well given the dump that we had and the FUD that we had, and the fact that the world is at war, right? So that's how it goes. Bitcoin trading volume. Good afternoon, Todd. The Bitcoin trading volume today is 3.1, where you could basically round up and say 3.2 billion across the big exchanges. That is really good. So 3.2 billion for a Monday after a lot of volatility just recently. Not bad. It's about as low as you want to get it to still be in the running. So we're starting this week with enough volume to continue recovering. Looking at cryptometer.io, which is a little bit more optimistic, it says we have 4 billion in the last 24 hours in Bitcoin trading volume. Sure, a drop by 8.9%. I'll take it. Market buy orders down 7%. Market sell orders up. Some market buy orders down 7%. Market sell orders up basically 7%. So not a bad way to start a Monday after FUD and dumps. So longs versus shorts on Binance for Bitcoin. 65 billion, and then shorts. Wait, what did I just say? Binance longs versus shorts for Bitcoin. 65 billion long. Gosh darn it, is one of those days. Binance longs versus shorts for Bitcoin. 65% long, 34% short. Boom, long bias for Bitcoin right now. For Ethereum on Binance, 68% long, 31% short. Definitely a long bias for Ethereum. All right, now let's look at some other market stuff, okay? S&P 500, this is a one-day chart. All of these are one-day charts looking at the big stuff, okay? So S&P 500 opened today. So far, a red candle. Closed with a red candle on Friday. Now it's working on a red candle today. So S&P 500 continues to suck ass, and it's below all the important moving averages, so that's not so good. A weak market Monday for sure. Russell 2000 index, red candle Friday, red candle today, below all important moving averages, so that officially kind of sucks ass too. Now, looking at US dollar, the Dixie DXY for dollar strength. It closed on Friday with a nice green candle. Today we have an indecisive doji. It's in the red. We shall see how that rolls. So basically, market not opening on fire today. It's not dumping incredibly hard, but it certainly is not pumping. But that's not inspiring to see. But at least Bitcoin is doing pretty good this morning. So Bitcoin's kind of a winner. It didn't dump that much when you look at how the traditional markets are responding to a Monday market open. So here we go. On top here, gold, red candle today. This thing just cannot win. It is getting below the 20 WMA moving average. That's not so hot here on the daily. It's getting below, if we look at this recent pump gold had, getting below the 382 fib level. I would not be surprised if we see a 0.5 fib level bounce right around 1,925. That could be a bounce spot. It would make sense. Let's see how it goes. We'll see how much of this pump we give back. A lot of it depends on things blowing up, literally. Things blowing up. Silver, red day today. One thing to note is that the gold is only barely below the 20 WMA right now, and it is above most of the important moving averages. So gold's still pretty strong, but we are retracing, which really would be to expect it. Which really would be expected after a pump like that for gold, which is kind of a very, very slow and sluggish moving boomer commodity. All right, so silver. Silver, basically, as you can see, it's been running up like gold, looking wonderful. Dumping today, big old red candle. It's below the 20 WMA. That's not so hot. Now it's going to challenge that 314 moving average. We will see if it can hold that. Gold and silver dumping today. What does that mean? I really have no idea. They are a mystery to me, but they do matter. CFDs. This is crude oil. This is a U.S. oil, ticker U.S. oil. Basically, how much is the U.S. spending to get a barrel of oil? As you can see, of course, we've been running up pretty hard. On the bottom here, you can see that I did a little fib sequence. Now we're below the 382 fib level, which is kind of where we are with gold too. On this retrace, we're going to actually bounce up to that 5, which would be around $96.15 a barrel. Possible. Losing to 20 WMA, that's not so hot. Let's see how this all rolls. The day is still young. Market, definitely. So traditional market, gold and silver, oil, all opening in the red. Although oil, dumping in price is probably good for maybe people's wallet for sure. I do think we're right now, where are we at right now? We are at $101.44. I think we may have we've come close to it or we've come very close to it if we have not gotten below $100 a barrel, 100 USD a barrel. So let's see if we can close today, above 100, below $100 a barrel. That'd be really, really nice. I mean, these are wild predictions, absolutely high octane speculation, but it'd be very interesting if gold bounced off the .5 fib level at 1,925 and gold bounced off the .5 level at $96.15 a barrel. That would be interesting. And silver, whatever. All right, so Bitcoin versus USDT here on the 45-minute chart. Well, we definitely had a pump recently. We had a dump, and then of course we had the weekend. Now we have a dump coming into Sunday night, basically into Monday morning here. As you can see, we have recovered. We're going sideways, and really the point of all this chart here, even though this looks somewhat crazy, we are looking at this range is pretty valuable. I could expand this out really, but this is basically the range right in here. You ever take a little bit where your gray in the middle is your kind of cruising zone, red up top is sell, green in the bottom is buy. Telling you, I watched the whale order books like these. This is not necessarily science, this one here, but it's pretty good. I will watch this, and then I will actually watch my chart here, and I will just watch if I zoom in a little bit. Oh, and you can see too on the 45-minute chart, we've been close to this range before. Here we go. All right, so I will literally zoom in and go to a shorter candle length, like 15 minutes, and I'll actually just watch. I'll watch the big buys and sells manipulated, just like you see in the chart back there. They like to keep it. I'm telling you, I'm not sure how they do it, but the whales definitely communicate with each other, and they coordinate their buys and sells, their shorts, their market buys, their market sells. They know what's up. So anyway, in the 15-minute chart, I wanted to point this out. If you notice these are blue diamond merit badges on the 15-minute chart. We have 4 of those in a row in a very, very short time frame. We're trying to get it. We've been above that 200 moving average. Can't quite keep it. We're below it. This really is a setup for a move. And we're towards the bottom of the RSI cave here. So anyway, I kind of have a feeling that this is a setup for probably a little bit of burst. So I could see us definitely getting above that 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart and staying there. Looking at the indicators, they're pretty played out, so it would not surprise me if now is a little bit of a time for a run. All right, let's look at the 4-hour chart. How are we doing there? Looking at this 4-hour chart, also below the 200 and the 314, but you can see how this little channel plays in. And also I want it to pull in. I'm going to the indicators now. They're a mix. It's really too volatile to get a good read off the indicators, but in general, looks like we're recovering. I'm going to do this. I want to go like this here and take a look at this fib sequence that I oftentimes reference, that we're kind of hanging out with. There's a 4-hour chart, and the fib sequence starts way back here, July 20th of 2020. You can see we ran up, we kept cruising, started giving it back. All these fib levels do really stick. They work. This gray one here, this range, that is the 618 golden pocket. That is the fib at 618 to 650. And as you can see, we've been challenging that on the 4-hour chart. Of course, it shows us on all the charts really, but the 4-hour chart really is a good spot to see it. It really points it out. We've been trying to, stay in that 618 golden pocket. That's where, Bitcoin, if you look at this chart here, and also the 618 golden pocket in general, that's where you grab. And if you can grab that and move and pull above it like you were climbing a ladder, you're good to go. You're back in the running. If you get below it, well, it's not so great. So right now, Bitcoin is trying to get above it. On the 4-hour chart, you can definitely clearly see that. But of course, right now, if you look right there, we're sort of in that range, even though we have a lot of bursty traffic. In general, I think this range right here, they're working a range on us. They're working a range. I should say the Bitcoin whales are ranging it. And they can do that for like 30, 60 days. I've seen it for like 66 days once or something like that. They definitely can do that. Sometimes they do it cleaner than this. This is more volatility than usual. So you could possibly say the range is bigger, whatever. This is the one that I would be trading. It's actually the one that I am trading. So in and out within this range. We're hanging out here in the 786 fib level. That's the last place you want to be if you're going to bounce. And of course, it does look like, and as you can see here, we definitely have been gaining a lot of traction. We've been working with this 786 fib level. So it does look like that's probably a good bottom where we're going to bounce. It would make sense. So boom, we're just kind of waiting it out. Now, if we look at a daily chart, as you can see here, oops, sorry about that. This is probably a little bit smaller to see, a little bit easier, I should say, to see. Daily. All right. On the daily chart, do note, we're still below the 200 moving average on the daily. The 200 moving average is at like 49,000 right now. It'd be great if we could pump and hit that. Bitcoin can do that in a day if it really wants to. But I would still just getting back in the 618 pocket. So anyway, as you can see, this is a cleaner chart. It's a daily, kind of shows that fib a little bit better, and that's a nice thing to see. On the daily in general, at least the stochastic RSI is showing that its tangent is moving towards being oversold. KRI is perking up, but that's about it. Right now, Bitcoin's pretty damn weak. So anyway, let's just see how it rolls. There's a lot of volatility that's going to kind of make everything crazy as we roll into Monday. Bitcoin's not doing bad, given how like the S&P 500 and such like that are doing. It's a strong enough place. I'm happy being in Bitcoin in the market. Rune versus BTC, Thorchain. This thing is badass. The name alone sells it. It ran up this morning pretty darn hard. Hit the top of this channel that it's been in, hit the top of the RSI cave. Now it's coming down. It got back below this red moving average here, which is the 8 moving average, which you're always going to return to usually if you get too far away from it. So I think we're going to find, like, I'm watching here. It needs to cool off a little bit. I'm going to wait for this stochastic RSI. I think this thing is going to continue running up. This is the stochastic RSI on the 45-minute. I'm going to kind of watch the hour also, because the hour tends to be, I think the RSI for crypto really on the hour does show you reversals pretty clearly, even within the 45-minute chart. So I'm going to watch this. And when I see an upwards tangent and an uptrend starting to roll on the hour, and it already has on the 45, well, it has not on the 45-minute chart yet. I'm going to watch those two, 45-minute chart and hour chart, to show a reversal. SMU binary candles are looking great. Squeeze indicators are looking good. So is the directional index and the ADX. But the directional index and the ADX and the squeeze indicator are showing, a bit of slacking off. And as you can see, we're starting to retrace a little bit. Wage oscillator by lazy bear on the 45-minute chart, we shows us being seriously overbought. So let's give this one a little while. Let's just watch it. I think Rune will continue up. Let's let it retrace. Let's let it get some traction. This is Rune versus BTC. One of the things I like about this coin, this crypto, is that you can play it on Binance and KuCoin. You've got to belong to one of those. So and it's one that everybody can play. I like it. This is a good time to make some BTC sats, especially while you have volatility. This is a good thing. This will probably continue up. So let's watch it. If you hop in it, for heaven's sakes, get a trailing take profit in. Get in when it has a strong green uptrend. Get your stop loss in the green. That's just my opinion. That's how I play it. All right. Now, BAT. BAT versus BTC. This one is doing quite well. Basic authentic token. I like this because I like it because it's doing well. And that's how I am. I'm a trader. If you're doing well and you're making me money, I love you. If you stop doing that, I step on you like a cold cigarette butt. But basically, BAT versus BTC. This thing has been trending up. Had this burst above the 200 moving average, blue diamond merit badge, as we are noting. Oftentimes here, upwards channel, it looks good. It's playing this upwards channel very, very well. I like it. It's not pushing too hard, even though it's bursty. Directional index is in the green. ADX is just about to get above 20, 22 or 21 or so. Let it hit about 23, 25. Let the squeeze indicator start firing off again. S&P binary candles are already in the right spot. KRI is looking good. Stochastic RSI shows an uptrend, and so does where it's oscillated by lazy bear. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. I'm not quite ready to get on it. It doesn't quite have the upwards velocity that I would like to see. Right now, it's kind of sideways on that heartbeat of the upward channel, but I am watching this one. BAT BTC could be a nice, beautiful continuation. I mean, if you were to do things like, buy here and then go, oh, of course it's going to retrace. So you sell here. Then you say, oh, it's going up again. And you go, oh, I'm not so sure. I sell here. Screw it. Okay. Then you get back in here. All right, cool. Not seeing anything that lends me to want to get in quite yet, but it has the potential. So I'm going to keep watching. That's how a lot of the way I trade is just like that. I mean, also, if you had gotten in back here, and you wanted to say, I'm going to ride this thing until it goes like this. So you could also, when it gets too tricky, I don't want to get into a trading methodology video right now. It'd be too long. But I will go over that later, how you can, different ways to play it. CTXC. So CTXC versus BTC. You can play this on Binance, CoinX, Huobi, and Bittrex. Cool. Anyway, so everyone can play this one. I try to look at coins that everybody can play that aren't just on Binance, because Binance is kind of, well, they're not for US users unless it's Binance US, and be good because the man's coming down on crypto. Don't do bad things. So CTXC versus BTC. As you can see, we had these blue diamond merit badges were kind of firing off, and that means you broke the 200 moving average and the 314 all in one or two candles. That's beautiful. It bursted, and many people would say, "Oh, that's kind of a pump and dump. You don't want to get in on that." And I would agree. I'd say don't get in on it yet, but keep an eye on it because some beautiful things are happening here. Let it retrace. Of course, it's going to retrace hard. Watch that fib level. It may actually retrace all the way back down to this 200 moving average. This might just be over. But there's a lot of upwards momentum got created here. It's cooling off. Let's watch. What if you get a 200 moving average bounce and it continues up? These tend to do something. They're either going to give it back or they're not. If they can bounce that 200 moving average and start moving up again and the indicators look good, it may be a good sign. If we take a little bit closer look at this, let's go just look at it. Oh, I love this. Okay, so here you go. This is important stuff. Yes, this is good. I like this. You're probably like, he likes what? I just have to comment that one of my neighbors is this lady, and she's a nice lady, but she wears like more perfume than every friggin' brothel in Amsterdam. And when she walks by, I can actually smell it through the friggin' concrete walls. Anyway, with that said, okay, as you can see, definitely this thing has had some highs recently that are beautiful, and you can see this thing has been giving it back. That's what you want to see. I mean, sometimes all you get is one of these where it kind of tries and it doesn't make it, but this is really a good opportunity. This is one to watch. Let's just see, because if this guy did actually make this breakout and it went to, let's just say, crap, and it went to like a recent high that it's had in the past in some reasonable amount of time. Look at a forecast here. that could take you to like about there, right? That'd be 162%. So it's worth watching these because either it's going to do that or something like it, or it is not, and that's fine. If it does one of these, and this does not really make, this is just a repeat over here, it doesn't really make it, dump it, screw it, don't need it. But these are always worth watching, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to watch this one. All right. Remember, Bitcoin truth seekers, this is a crazy time, but 2022 is where we can all accumulate a tremendous amount of wealth. I will try to get out here earlier in the mornings. These get way more views, and people, it benefits people a lot more if I get out of here. If I get out here like 5 a.m. and do a video. That's been difficult with my schedule recently, but I'm going to get out here earlier and do this in the morning, like just freaking first thing with coffee, and just be like, boom, let's see what's going on, because it benefits you, it benefits me. And that is truly the nature of the Bitcoin truth seeker. Here's how you guys all look energetically to me. I can see you. And people who are not Bitcoin truth seekers, you look like this. I trust the science. And remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of crap globalist cries. And it is the most peaceful revolution, in fact, the only global peaceful revolution that has ever happened. And if you're upset about a lot of the things happening in the world today that are not so great, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own might be the greatest thing you can do to stop that in a completely peaceful and optimistic, non-snarky, holier than thou way. And if you don't want to do that, well, just trust the science. Take care. I'll see you later.